This podcast contains potentially adult language, adult themes, definitely drinking, and possibly sexual context. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Drinking with Authors. This is the literary briefs we've been drinking for some time edition. I am your host, Erica Lance. My co-host today is the amazing C.R. Rice, and our guest is the amazing, thoroughly entertaining. You should take her on a road trip anywhere, but not really because that's creepy. Beth Patterson.
Consensual road trip.
Consensual road trips.
That sounds like a band name. Consensual
Ooh,
road
that
trip.
would be a good name. Consensual road trips.
Or an
I'm just
anthology.
throwing out amazing things. Just
Yes, you are. I'm writing that down because that is an amazing thing. Because if I don't write things down, I forget about them.
You know, some of the best stuff that I've come up with has been when let's just say that it's not necessarily the best stuff, but the stuff that has gone interesting places have been when I've been in rather altered states of consciousness.
Me too. I have so many voice memos. Of course, mine are all horror books, and anyway. So I'm in a lot of trouble. Okay, our
remember
sponsor
to drive that dagger through his skull, and then she gets arrested for something. It's like, ma'am, where is this? Remember to lock the cabin door. It's like, ma'am, where is the cabin?
I'm just still like, drive that dagger through his skull, doo-dah, doo-dah.
to do, Beth, is my Florida Hunting Grounds books come out. I just want you to do an album based on the serial killers that are killing people in it, and it can be an entire montage. I would love it.
I do music videos for books. Like I started one for an anthology called Release the Virgins.
Yes, I love that one.
Did you see the for those who haven't, if you look up just Release the Virgins, Beth Patterson, it's just, you got to read Release the Virgins. It
is amazing. Okay, we gotta talk. I'm literally totally off my post-it. Did I say like and subscribe? Did I do that yet?
You did.
Okay. And you did Skunk Brothers, and you got all of us.
Okay, let's talk about what we're drinking and have gotten drunk on, shall we? Let's do that. So I am drinking a gin and tonic that I had a lot of gin and not as much tonic, but I use this Owen Craft mixers, mint cucumber lime, because it's cheap and easy to do that. Okay, CR, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a now cold pestilence. It's not warm anymore. It's our green tea and vodka.
Yes, Four Horsemen drink. And Beth, what are you drinking?
Freak Show. Wait, where's my?
There you are. Freak Show.
It's a 2019 Zinfandel. It predates the pandemic.
Oh, it does. That means it doesn't have COVID.
Not that
you know of.
Did we just say that in unison?
We did.
Jinx, buy me a Coke. Inky, pinky, stinky, winky, flush it down the kitchen sinky.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I got to Jinx, buy me a Coke, but I love everything that happened after that.
I was about to say, I got that one, and then she kept going. I was like, is this a new thing?
No, it's this thing. It's from Saturday Night Live. It was Julia Louis Dreyfus. Is like where they say things after they're talking about communism stuff, and all of a sudden they jump up. Jinx, buy me a Coke. Inky, pinky, stinky, winky, flush it down the kitchen sinky. King of France, wet as pants, right in the middle of the bottle dance. Nee, 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 na, 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 na. Ha! And because it's Saturday Night Live, it goes on way longer than it really needs to. Because
I love all of this.
I mean, it was amazing.
So we're going to do rapid fire questions, but I have a unique rapid fire questions based on our last episode. I came up with 2. You ready?
Okay.
I'm going to go totally off script here. The first question is, what animal would you be if you could be any animal?
A pangolin.
What
the hell is that?
It's a spiny anteater. It just has it's armor plated. Imagine a cross between an anteater and a pine cone.
That's exciting.
And, I was going to say a wolf because I've been writing so many werewolf novels, but today, you caught me at the right moment, and I had to give my first response. So I said a pangolin. I think that was the name. My brother was in a band called Pangolin. Pangolin. If in case my microphone isn't picking up the
That makes sense.
subtleties.
Did you look this up?
It is. It's basically like do you know Pokemon? It's like a sand slash. You remember that thing? It's like a living Pokemon.
And you don't want to get, I mean, apparently they don't smell all that great, but another reason why people should just stay the fuck away.
I like it. Okay, CR, what animal would you be?
I'd be an owl.
Interesting.
That way I only go out at night and nobody fucks with me. And I stay in trees.
Fly by night, away from here.
Right?
I like it.
What about you?
Ooh. I don't know.
That was your
There's a lot of animals I want to say I'd like to be, and then I think maybe I wouldn't want to actually be them. I think I'd want to be a house cat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want to be pampered.
Because that way I could do whatever I wanted to do. And I have justification for being a complete fucking asshole to people and knocking shit over. And people will be like, that's just my cat. And people bring me food and have to clean
and it's
up
perfectly fine because you're a cat. Yeah.
And
I like it.
I want to be a very fat calico house cat.
Assuming that it's somebody in a loving kitty household and not, one of the ones that ends
on the
up,
street.
No, I want one of the ones who treats me like one of their humans and like does the tuna fish thing and like that overly does the kitty thing so that they also like when I'm 26 they prolong my life because they'll take me every day to get fluids, that kind of shit.
Do we have second choices?
Oh yes. Oh, let's hear second choices. Beth, what is your second choice?
I heard about this. I've only seen one once, I think, up here in West Virginia. I know they're more of a thing in Canada. It's a mustelid. It's a member of the weasel family. It's called a fisher, sometimes called a fisher cat. They are not particularly nice animals, but I just think this is badass, even though it's really gruesome. They eat the faces off of porcupines. Now,
they're cute.
They're adorable.
And they're so cute.
And they are adorable, and they eat the faces off of porcupines. And it's just like, after everything, assuming that everybody caught part one of this podcast and saw like some of this shit that I have to put up with when I'm just trying to play my gig and go home. It's like, okay, I could totally get behind an animal that just eats the faces off of porcupines.
I think that would be brilliant, actually. Okay. What is the weirdest animal somebody told you they wanted to be? Calling out my friend Brandy here today. What is the weirdest animal?
A tardigrade.
What is that?
How are you coming up with these animals?
It's a microscopic. They're sometimes called a water bear. They will probably outlive us all. We're going to kill each other. We're going to blast each other to smithereens. And the tardigrades will be the next generation, which makes me think that I need to make my next book about this kingdom of tardigrades, like Watership Down, but tardigrades.
That sounds like a brilliant idea.
They're these
what about you, Chelsea? What is a weird creature that somebody's told you they wanted to be?
I don't know. I haven't asked a lot. I know my little brother always wanted to be a chicken when he was little. Like he always said chickens have the best life. And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, yep, I want to be a chicken. And I was like, buddy, you're literally eating chicken nuggets. And he's like, no, this is different. But when he was little, he swore he wanted to be a chicken. He had like the little thing. And not even like a cool chicken, like you know those weird looking ones that have like the almost like, did you ever watch Moana? You see the little chicken on there?
Yeah.
Like that kind. That's the kind that he wanted to be like when he was super, super little, just like a weird looking twitchy one. So and that was always skeeved me out.
There's a really weird thing going around the internet right now that Moana is actually, she died while taking the boat, and then it's a dream that
of course.
Yeah, it's weird. So my friend Brandy, and I love you, Brandy, she listens to this podcast, wanted to be, when we're all sitting around talking about this, I think at that time I said I wanted to be like a panther or something fucking badass like that, or a ferret, I don't know, something cool. And she said a puffer fish.
Yes.
I mean, hell yes.
Yeah.
Whenever you're mad at somebody, you just puff the hell up.
Yeah. She was like, I want to be a puffer fish. So I started buying her puffer fish shit. So
that's funny.
All the time I was like, here, now you have your puffer fish pillow. Like,
oh man, that's amazing.
So
No, these little water things these tardigrades, everybody
Yeah,
should look
water
those
bears.
up because they have like the face of like if anybody ever watched Stranger Things, like the monsters, that's their face, not open, but like closed, and their bodies look like hippos with 2 extra legs on each side.
Mm-hmm.
It's very frightening.
Yeah, but they can survive. They can be frozen for an indefinite amount of time. They are
Terrifying.
after the Anthropocene. Have I mentioned that I've been drinking? Sorry, guys, I brought a drink to the party.
yeah.
Anthropocene areas, after they will. I'd be curious to see how they evolve.
Oh my
They're going to think
goodness.
that we're the next trilobites.
Yes, that is actually accurate. So what about since last we spoke, what is the best book you've read?
I have been really engrossed in the Shauna McGuire October Day, the Toby Day series. So she's got, I think that number 16 is coming out later this year. And of course there are things outside of fantasy, like I love Barbara Kingsolver. There are people that are timeless, like Toni Morrison and stuff like that. But as far as what's happening right here and right now, besides Barbara Kingsolver, I just love Shauna McGuire, the Toby Day things, and the Wayward Children series. They just warm my heart because there's so much representation and none of it is gratuitous. Everybody has a space, and there isn't a reason why every single character is important. Not only is it just really well written, and I love books that give me courage. Like, okay, if I were in this situation, I would, I'd just drink a bunch of coffee and go, kick some ass. And, if I lose copious amounts of blood, oh well, I'll get over it. But just certain things, like about halfway through, I started seeing that, there was no, she was blurring the lines about things like gay characters, and that was actually crucial to the plot. And it's not just people. I mean, yes, it's important for people to be who they are. You saw poly relationships, and then you saw people represented differently. Like there's a mermaid, and mermaids are not these beguiling little things that can comb their hair and sing all day. And they are. You do not want to get punched by a mermaid. You do not want to fight a mermaid. They are absolutely kick-ass. But the thing is, with their mermaids, she does her research, and you think about it, they live most of their time in the water. So when they're on land, all of a sudden gravity is more of an issue. So while they're kick-ass, after a while they get more tired on land, so they have to spend most of their time in a wheelchair. So there's this one character that while she's on land, I mean, you don't want to fuck with her, but yes, she's in a wheelchair and there's a reason for it, and she absolutely kicks ass. There are people who are fae who see things differently that could represent any number of us who are not neurotypical. There are, in her Wayward Children series, there is a girl who is a person of size, and it's absolutely crucial to the story, and she kicks ass. There's a lot of, it's not just representation, it's just that everybody is important. All the diversity is absolutely crucial to the story and makes every single world that she builds comes alive.
I think that's awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so since Beth has been on this podcast before, I have one more question, and then CR has a plethora of questions.
I do.
My question is, what is your favorite book to TV show or movie that you think they did pretty well?
Wait, is this for CR or for me? I'm sorry, I'm a
For
little
you.
bit-
CR is
you.
going to answer these
Okay.
questions. It's your
I'm sorry,
podcast.
guys. I've kind of been drinking.
You've been
I
drinking,
can't
right?
believe you.
Most recently, even I got into the Sandman Chronicles, just the Endless Chronicles, when I was in college. Actually, my friends in Ireland, I took a year to study in Ireland, and got into those graphic novels. And now I told my husband, who is not familiar with them all at all, I said, we have to watch this. and I love how true to that mythos it stayed. And I understand the liberties that they took that are different from the graphic novels. I get it. I have mad respect. Um, and so I think that so far, I'm only a few episodes in, but I think they've done that really, really well.
I agree. I've been watching it as well. And yes.
There's 3 good episodes. The couple episodes in the middle are stupid and don't make sense, and then they pull it back together.
Okay, that'll be good to know. I'll have to say, like, I like the Sandman. My boyfriend does not like stuff that jumps backwards and forwards in time a lot. Like, because we had the audiobooks. I don't want to say audiobooks because they were audio performances, because they had the, what's his name that played Xavier, and it was brilliant. Like, the voice was just phenomenal, but it drove him crazy because Sandman goes forward and back and forward and back and forward and back, like through the whole thing. And he's like, I can't keep track of what's
It is hard, especially, I mean, you keeping things linear does make it more accessible, but I think there's a little more wiggle room for people who are endless, where time is not as much of an issue. It would be more frustrating for something that's a little more mundane.
Yeah.
I had to tell that recently with a friend of mine who was writing a children's book. I said, for things, and it's funny for somebody who swears as much as I do and has as much of a fucked up sense of humor as I do. But when it comes to the children's books, I was like, not sure about something. So I actually asked Bill Fawcett, my friend Bill, for advice. I'm like, because I'm still new to this thing, I feel like I've only been in the writing thing for 10 years. So I am not above asking people for help. Like, okay, what do you think? And Bill's advice was keep it, for that age group, keep it simple, keep it linear.
Yes.
But for something like that, I can kind of see, and I can also see how it would be frustrating. You get into things like Lost, for instance. My husband and I, when we first started seeing each other, that was in 2016, and we had never seen, like, it was already a done deal, but we decided to start watching it from scratch. We called ourselves Late Life Losties, but we watched it because one of his childhood friends was in it.
Oh,
Who has
wow.
since gone on to be in some pretty incredible things. Eric Lang, who has been in a number of just incredible TV series, but at the end, he's the guy who blows up the island. Sorry, anybody who hasn't watched Lost yet.
I was going to say, major spoiler for anybody not expecting that. They're like, well, that's off my fucking list.
Oh, no, that's not even the thing that everybody gets pissed about in Lost. So
yeah,
it's clear. We'll have to have a
just
podcast
on this. That's not what pisses everybody off about Lost.
No,
because there are some things that, like, we got into it, like, yeah, this is cool, and then after all, like, are they making this shut up as they go along?
They definitely hit that point where, like, even when we were watching it, I was like, dude, like, really? It's like they got wasted. It's like if we're drinking right now and we have a freaking storyboard due at 8:00 in the morning, but we keep going like this just all night, and they're like, fuck, throw it all on.
The end of season 3 into season 4 is when that starts to happen.
Yeah, and that's what with my novel could have gone completely off script if I hadn't gotten the counsel, not just from Bill and Jody. I mean, they definitely gave me this boot camp. A lot of people have come along and helped me at times that, like, I'm like, okay, they owe me nothing. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm going to take it. And it wasn't just them, but several other people who helped me along the way. I will take any advice where I get it. I had worked with other people along the way in making this book, and some of them were not as nice as Bill and Jody, but I took the lesson where it was offered. And if it weren't for all of those people, my book could have gone off the rails like that. And I would just be like, yeah, I wrote a book, and it's like no big deal. And I wouldn't even be mentioning it. So I can look back and look at it as an artifact of my psyche at the time, and that it's still not bad. Like, I'm okay with it. I just feel like I can do so much better now.
You're going to, and Anne Rice said this, like, she literally said it on her, I and I think it's still up on her site if you go look for it, but she was talking about Interview with the Vampire, and she said that was the best writer she was at that time. You're going to have that. Every story you write gets better and better. We go back and look at our first things and we're like, oh my God, what were we thinking?
Well,
eventually, but that's how it goes. We get better and better.
And that's why I was happy to share this thing with Teen Angst. And I wish I had found, I'm going to go back and see if I can find some of the stuff that won awards in high school back when, the competition wasn't that stiff and stuff. And I'm like, it's funny because I was talking to Jody about something that I had written that won an award, and poor Jody, she is lovely and she's gracious, and every now and again she will make a face out loud, when I know I've come up with an absolutely egregious idea, and that's all I need. I'm like, yeah, okay, got it.
I love Jody. We've had her on the show twice. I absolutely love Jody and Bill. I think they're amazing.
They are two of my best friends, and they have made it known to me that if something horrible happens, call them. I have a place to stay. They have been absolutely wonderful to me, and I've been crediting them for what they did for my writing, and I haven't been giving them enough credit for what they have done as far as the support they've shown to me as a person.
Oh, that's very, very sweet. Awesome.
They've truly been wonderful.
Friends of the show. Okay, CR, go for it.
All right. If you could be any main character in a story, but you can't change your life, who would you be?
Any main character of someone else's story?
Any book, but
any book main character.
Change the story.
Let's see. I'd like to be Mercy Thompson. From the Patricia Briggs characters.
Patricia Briggs.
Yeah, Patty Briggs. What I love about Mercy is that she takes one for the team a little bit too much. Like her first thought is, let's save this person and then let's figure out later whether or not they're a raging douchebag. That's one of the things that gets her into trouble. She also, because she turns into a coyote, she does have that trickster element, and I cannot resist a good practical joke. So there's that as well. But there are times I'm like, what would Mercy do? I think it would be awesome to meet Mercy for a day, even though I know I've read all the Mercy books so far, and so I know exactly what that entails. And even still, I'd be like, yeah, I'd like to be Mercy.
Okay. Well, who would you want as your sidekick?
As my side, that's a good question. I have to think about that. Let's see. Because sidekicks, that's a different thing from somebody who has an equal and opposite role, but somebody who is a little bit lesser. Who would I want sitting in the passenger seat saying, you know what, you should probably stop screaming SpongeBob fuck pants, because that person can actually hear you, because that person in front of you has telepathy. Let's see, who do I want as my sidekick? Oh gosh, it's on the tip of my brain.
Don't you love it when we ask you questions after you've been drinking?
Well, that's the fun of it.
I still think it would be super fun to get the foghorn, and that way, and not tell anybody, and not use it every time, but just randomly when people start like doing like the thinking, trying to figure it out, just freaking blare it.
Yeah, because I'm right now, for some weird reason, I cannot remember the character's name, and I read this absolute doorstop of a book, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, and the main character, you see it's a heartbreaking book. But you see every reason why he has become what he's become, and because I'm a horrible person, I have all of a sudden forgotten his name, and I read the entire book.
Okay, well, he can be your sidekick.
That's okay.
The thing is, there are times that he's absolutely unscrupulous, but there is a reason for everything. He's super smart. He knows how to survive. and he figures it out. He figures things out. He's probably has a higher tolerance for alcohol than I clearly do. Uh,
Oh, my
Okay.
goodness.
So what is your favorite weird food combination?
Weird food combination: cilantro and pineapple.
Like you just like fresh cut pineapple, you just like sprinkle
Fresh
it on
cut pineapple
top.
and cilantro. There's a margarita that one of my favorite restaurants. Actually, I haven't been out much since the pandemic, so I don't know if it's still there. But there was a Mexican restaurant called El Gato Negro, and some of their food, like their corn tortillas, I just refer to as edible folk art.
Oh,
And they
wow.
have a pineapple cilantro margarita that is just and I have to be very careful with tequila. But and
Doesn't
All of us
everybody?
need to be very
Doesn't
careful with
everybody?
tequila. That's literally, tequila should come with the, everybody should be careful around this because this could end badly for you.
there are at least two people I know uh, that I have said that whom have made me sworn off tequila. That just two people I know, and they're both musicians, and they've both made me say I'm never drinking tequila, or at least with them, I'm like I'm never drinking tequila with you again. One is from Honduras. One lives in Guatemala. He's from the States, but lives in Guatemala, and they're both on my tequila list. I'm never drinking tequila with you ever again. Uh, but there's a pineapple cilantro margarita, and there was a popsicle place that I don't think, sadly, is still in existence, but they make a pineapple cilantro popsicle that's really good.
Okay.
So if you don't have the genetics that make cilantro taste like soap, my mother thinks it tastes like soap. I don't. So that's where our genes obviously differ. I love it.
I love cilantro, but I've heard that from people that some people think it tastes like soap. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, and I'm not judging because I mean, as far as people who try to get people riled up about your favorite band sucks, ha, ha, ha. Your favorite food sucks, ha, ha, ha. I'm like, you know what offends me? Genocide, veterans who have just been tossed to the side, children who don't get enough to eat, so many things that I'm not even going to speak about on this podcast that are just people who don't share the same taste in food and music and me doesn't even like register.
Yeah. It's not even on the same level.
Yeah, but if you like cilantro, a pineapple cilantro margarita.
I think we should try this pineapple
Okay.
cilantro popsicles.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it.
Add
On
it
a
on
road
the
trip.
list. Add it on the list. Okay.
It's on the list. Okay. How about what is on your I will never do it again list? Like your anti-bucket list.
Let's see. What will I never do again? I will never befriend a random stranger in Grand Turk, simply because my friend I'm walking with decides that she's hot, because it turns out that she might end up in my hotel room and be connected to a drug cartel.
Just a very basic life lesson for everyone. Okay,
Right.
that sounds like a
Be a little more cautious.
Okay.
It's like, if you're with this, walking around with a friend who like is lonely and he needs a girl companion, and here comes this gorgeous woman from the Bahamas and who's now living in Grand Turk, and it's like, oh, I didn't know she was going to end up in our hotel room, and oh my God, who is the strange person at the door? Yeah, that's not going to happen again.
okay.
As it should
Makes
not.
sense. That sounds like a very good life decision. How
Mhm.
about if you could do anything right now in this moment, what would it be?
In this moment,
Anything. Go anywhere in a second, like we were talking about before, where you could just disappear and like there you are. Where would it be?
well, I've been thinking this probably isn't the right time of year. One of my things is to go to Finland. There's a national park. It's crazy expensive, but you can get a glass igloo and like spend the night in a glass in this submerged under the snow, and just the entire ceiling is glass, and you can watch the northern lights. But
That would be awesome. I
like
think I've
this
seen
time
that
of year
somewhere.
isn't ideal. So honestly, I just want to go back to Ireland. It's been too many years. I haven't been to Ireland since Christmas.
Don't
and
go with
I
Erica.
used to go all the time.
I've
And
made
this,
3 trips set up for Ireland, and the first one, the pandemic happened. The second one, Was it Delta?
Omicron happened. Was that what it was?
Omni, and then the third one was Delta. I stopped making reservations to Ireland because the moment I made the reservation, it broke out.
Erica caused COVID. Is what she's saying.
Can I say, in 2023, October of 2023, I'm part of this little musical touring group. We're going to kind of a throw together band. I play with this friend of mine, Hugh Morrison, who's from Scotland, and he was the one who got me on this thing. In October of next year, we are doing a whiskey lovers tour of Ireland, where if you can show up in Ireland by a certain date at a certain time, there's a tour bus. The price includes transport. You get one suitcase. I don't know what happens if you want to bring more than one, but and the tour bus takes care of everything, takes you across 4 different distilleries, whiskey distilleries in Ireland, and then all these iconic places like Glendalough, Bunratty Castle, Rock of Cashel, Slea Head, Dingle Peninsula.
That's awesome.
I've seen them all, but I haven't seen them in almost 30 years. And lodging, it includes lodging. So all you have to do is get yourself to Ireland, and they do have like a group rate if everybody wants to go together at a certain point. It flies out of.
I'll send you an email. You'll have to tell me about it, and then I'll have to give it to somebody else to buy the tickets, and then just tell me the day I'm going, because apparently if I make the plan, we're going to have a COVID outbreak.
So we won't even tell you when we're actually going. We're just gonna be like, that's gonna be our road trip, Beth. That's gonna be like, Erica, we're gonna go on a road trip. It's gonna be so much fun. Get in the car.
Yeah.
And then boom, she's like, why are we at the airport?
Yeah, it's 2023, and it's some incredible places, and I haven't seen them in forever. And on the nights, most of the nights are off. What I'm honestly probably going to do is contact old friends, most of whom are college buddies, because I went to college for a year at University College Cork, but people I met from different eras and in different places. So I'm gonna just probably going to contact some old friends, go to some sessions. But my husband is going to come with me, and he's never been to Ireland. He is a dyed-in-the-wool jazz guy and doesn't know trad at all. And he might walk away with a little bit of an understanding of why I turned out the way I did. So yeah, that's something that I'm going to do next year. So if Ireland is on your bucket list, all you have to show up, and the tour bus will take care of the rest. And
I'll email you. You have to tell me about it, and then I'll have somebody else buy it so I don't create another outbreak.
Okay, yeah.
It's for the safety of the world, guys.
For the safety of the world, my friend. I'm not going to create another outbreak.
Safety of the world.
Safety of the world. Okay.
Safety of the world.
So for a wrap-up question, my friend, what do you hope for the rest of 2022 as far as writing goes for yourself?
I would like to have the discipline to actually, and the self-confidence to just get back on the horse, and work on these 2 books. There have been some other prospects that have been hinted, and with some collaborations. I'm like, is this going to happen? Is this not going to happen? It's an issue that I'm not going to press, because when it comes to collaborating, it's making sure that the other person is also in the right frame of mind. So if that doesn't happen, the most important thing is not stressing anybody else out. And I've stopped sending in just all these other submissions for anthologies, and I just need to just get into it and go into hyperfocus and finish these damn novels.
Yes, I concur with that assessment, my friend.
Yeah,
I do.
I can't say I write novels when I've written one. That's like saying, stop that, you're going to hurt my feeling.
Exactly.
Which I say that anyway. If somebody tries to get me, I'm like, dude, you're going to hurt my feeling.
I always joke that I keep my feeling in my shoes, so you can't really hurt it much, but I might pull that feeling out at some point, and you'll regret that. So.
I put a feeling in my shoe and watch me walk.
I love it. Okay, shameless self-promotion time. Tell people how to find you and your amazing music and writing.
BethPattersonmusic.com. Facebook music page is Bethodist is the handle. Facebook is going to think that you're saying Methodist with a stuffed nose. So if you say like Methodist, Beth Patterson music, then it won't try to say, did you really mean? No, we didn't mean this. So that is my music page. Instagram is Methodist_manifesto. I think that's the same for TikTok, which isn't much. It just has me like playing with the little wild anole lizards that I get to eat from my hand in the backyard because I think it's cute.
Oh, that is awesome. That's
Twitter
awesome.
is
Think
Beth Patterson 5 because I wasn't thinking enough to say like 2112 or something, like at least make an homage to my favorite band. So yeah.
that
So
is
that's
awesome.
Twitter.
So I want to thank you for being on our podcast again, my friend. This has been so much fun.
Thank you guys for having me. And I mean, it's great. Like, you're encouraging me to drink, you're encouraging me to swear, and you're encouraging me to talk about myself. It's like a dream come true for somebody with ADD. It's like, I can just
It's a trifecta.
Well, that, and I have to say, the sleeves, I've been watching your arms, the sleeves on that jacket are fucking amazing. Look at
They
those.
are.
This was made, handmade by my friend Darwin Prophet, who is like, she has done some amazing things her whole life. I think she was in Smokey and the Bandit at one point.
Oh, wow.
Or one of these iconic shows. She hand stitched this and she sent it to me. She goes, I think this would fit you. You want it? And she sent it to me and I put it on. She sounds a little bit like Kate Bush. She has her literary crush is Oscar Wilde because let's face it, we all need a dead literary crush.
That's true.
So Oscar Wilde is her dead literary crush, and I adore her. And she sent me this. She hand stitched this shirt and this little jacket, and she is an amazing human being.
Well, she did brilliantly because I'm super jealous of that particular jacket and the sparkliness. So well done to her.
Yeah.
Okay, so this has been Drinking with Authors Literary Briefs, friends. I've been your host, Erica Lance. My amazing co-host has been C.R. Rice. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a review now that we're all super drunk. Reviews get even better the second episode. And our sponsor is Skunk Brothers Spirits. DWA10 is the coupon code. And our amazing guest has been Beth Patterson. And we will see you guys next time.